You know, one of the movies that we've been keeping an eye on this year, ever since the Oscars, is the highly anticipated Will Smith film being directed by Antoine Fuqua. And by the way, maybe my second or third most underrated actor in the entire business, Ben Foster. Emancipation. Now, was Apple going to release this film this calendar year, or were they going to hold it off and put it out next year? Well, we found out a few weeks ago that they affirmed they're going to be putting it out this year. It's going to be Oscar eligible, all that kind of stuff. And, you know, ever since they announced this movie, we've been talking about it and wondering, you know, what's it going to feel like? Well, they dropped a big trailer for it today, big, long, full trailer today. And we had a chance around the office here to watch it this morning. And my God, this looks good. This looks so good. And, you know, listen, I will say this. When I was watching it, all I was really seeing was Will Smith. But that's understandable because it's 2 minutes. Like sometimes it takes 3 or 4 minutes in a movie for that just to wash into the background. And I can already tell that that's going to happen when I watch this movie in its entirety. But I'm watching this, the hand that Antoine Fuqua brings to this, Ben Foster in there looks like he's going to be like the Darth Vader of this series. Like you just know he's going to become the new Monsieur Candide, like a guy you're going to absolutely love to hate in this without the charm. I have a feeling it's going to be a lot without the charm in this. This looks incredible. If it wasn't for last year, I'd say Will Smith is probably in line to get his next nomination, but I doubt the Academy will give that to him. But regardless, who cares? This trailer looks fantastic. I cannot wait to see this movie. Anyway, Chris, you had a chance to see it. What did you think about the trailer for Emancipation?
I had a little bit of a different reaction because I did just go, oh yeah, it's Will Smith towards the end of it. He seemed to really, really transform himself and really commit to this character. I'm very excited about this. Ben Foster is an incredible performer who I know is going to commit in a way that is going to be so unsettling in this. And also just from a history perspective, we don't know a lot about Peter, but that photo whipping Peter really turned the tide.
Yeah.
It really made people unable to deny the atrocities of slavery and the slave trade. And we only know what we know from that article, right? Hey, he escaped from this plantation 10 days ago. Some of his friends were killed in the process. And then he joined the Union. So it's really going to be interesting to see what they do with this story and how they tell Peter's story. And I'm really, really, really looking forward to it. And the black and white choice, too, I really enjoy as well. This looks like it's going to be a cinematic just feast, too.
Rob, you had a chance to take a look at this. I will say, I liked the black and white choice at first, but when I saw the environments they were in, like with the swamp and the battlefield, I did find myself going, ooh, the richness of the color and what a cinematographer could do here would be really nice. But it is a creative choice.
It is the image carried all the way through, you know?
So, and it kind of follows through as consistent with what that original photograph was, right? Rob, you had a chance to take a look at this. You and I have been talking about this movie for a long time. What do you think about the trailer?
Well, the thing that struck me is what strikes me a lot is that Anton Fuqua is probably the most underrated director working in Hollywood today. That guy, every time I watch, look, I don't know why, but I've become obsessed with watching clips of the Equalizer movies that he also directed.
I love his Equalizer movies.
You know what's funny? I've only seen those movies once, each of them once, but I watch the clips over and over. I don't know why, because, you know, they show up in your YouTube, you watch one.
I do that for Moneyball.
Oh, I love Moneyball and The Big Short and now the Equalizer. His directing style, like the big, wide, expansive shots. I don't know what it is about his style, but he brings. I wouldn't have thought that he would have directed this kind of a movie, but you can even see it, the visceral nature of whatever his magic that he brings between him and what Will Smith is doing. This film looks like it's going to be incredible. I mean, and in terms of hard hitting, like you're going to feel this movie. Not just watch it from an intellectual standpoint, but like you feel his films. Like I was watching Training Day the other day, and I'm like, that movie makes my flesh crawl, and I love it because you feel the intensity of the characters and the scenes. I mean, he's able to bring this. I mean, he brings you inside, and I think this movie looks like it's fantastic. It's going to be fantastic.
Aaron is one of only 2 people in this room who have acted on screen with Will Smith. What did you think about the trailer that we saw?
Wait, who's the other one?
I did. I was an extra in Hancock.
Oh, Oh, right.
No,
okay.
I'm kidding. I wasn't.
Oh,
The
okay.
one of one.
I was.
But you did. Like you acted on screen with Will Smith in his Academy Award winning performance. But anyway, you had a chance to check out this trailer. What did you think about it?
Man. I was really just blown away and moved. And I will say I agree with Rob's take on the black and Chris's take on the black and white aspect of filming it. As much as, yes, I mean, I'm from South Louisiana originally. I've spent many times as a little child crawling through swamps and wrestling with alligators just for funsies. As
Like
one
you
does. No, I really think that shooting this in black and white, you still get that rich detail. And I think that we're going to definitely see a cinematography nomination for sure. Who also really stuck out to me in the trailer was Charmaine Bingwa, who plays his wife. There is something about, I really love how they chose to zero in on the relationship that they had as well, because it really was about him getting back to her and her belief of he's going to come back to us, reassuring the children and understanding that this wasn't just about the atrocities of what was occurring when people were living in, under the oppression of slavery, but also families being ripped apart, and how and what that actually meant when you look at the families that were left behind in all of this, and the fact that he joins the Union Army. We haven't seen that story. A lot of times, I think that people go, "Okay, it's just another World War II movie. Oh, it's just another movie about prison. Oh, it's another movie about slavery." The fact that we're actually seeing him escaping, joining the Union Army, and then fighting against the
oppressors.
The very foundation of our country that allowed this to happen and enabled this to happen, I think is going to be a really inspiring story as Will Smith continues to give to us. I'm thrilled for his what I consider to be a triumphant return. And I saw Ben Foster actually on Broadway many years ago, and he is just as engaging on the stage in person as he is on screen. And I was so thrilled to look on IMDb and see that my friend Paul Ben Victor is also in this movie, who will probably be playing a really terrible person, as he's very good at doing, even though he's really nice in person.
What's funny is that these movies about these grand events, whether it's 9/11, the World War II, whatever, the ones that are best are the ones that know how to percolate it down to the shared human stories that we have. So you're pointing out the thing about making it about him and his relationship with his wife. So you can try to tell a story about prison, or you can tell a story about a very personal shared human experience that a character in the movie had that a lot of us share. And that's when
Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah, that has that kind of experience with us.
Another thing that struck me in this trailer, and you pointed it out, is that Louisiana, the swamps itself, are kind of an open air prison. Like these, you can't escape. And it becomes almost like the prison. I love prison break stories, and I would never have wanted to go on the run in Louisiana swamp.
Not to mention the oppressive heat and the humidity.
I feel like you're drinking your air.
Yeah.
Oh man,
It's horrible.
All right, guys, question is for you. Did you have a chance to see the trailer for Emancipation? If so, what did you think about it? Whatever those thoughts are, jump down to the comment section below and leave those thoughts there. We want to take a moment and thank a sponsor of today's video, HelloFresh. Guys, my wife Ann and I love using HelloFresh. With HelloFresh, you get farm-fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. And that's why it's America's #1 meal kit. When you subscribe to HelloFresh, you can check Save Money off of your fall to-do list. HelloFresh is 25% cheaper than takeout and even less expensive than grocery shopping too. And HelloFresh works with your ever-changing schedule. Plans are flexible and you can choose your meals for the week, update your preferences, or change your delivery day all in the HelloFresh app. Now, Ann and I are both working professionals, so when it comes to dinner time, it can be a bit of a challenge. We don't really have time to cook and we don't want to eat out all the time. And that's why HelloFresh comes through so clutch for us. Not only do we get to eat delicious, nutritious food, but Ann and I both have a lot of fun getting to cook together, following the easy-to-follow steps in getting the meals made. So go to HelloFresh.com/Campea65 and use the code Campea65 for 65% off plus free shipping. That's HelloFresh.com/Campea65 using the code Campea65 for 65% off plus free shipping.